Today is Saturday, November 11th. These days, it seems Taylor Swift is everywhere. Her albums, concert, and movie continue to break all-time records, while her social life is all over the headlines. So our question was, why? What is it about Taylor Swift specifically that gets so many people so invested, even beyond your typical A-list celebrity? Later, we are talking with a self-proclaimed Swiftie who also happens to be an expert on public relations and social media strategy. But first, I'm chatting with media psychology and social scientist Dr. Pamela Rutledge. She's the director of the Media Psychology Research Center and writes on the topic for her free newsletter called Digital Brains and Behavior. She shares the psychology of why we can't seem to look away from Taylor Swift's every move, and how Taylor's new romance may even be bringing some Americans together in a new way. Welcome to the Newsworthy Special Edition Saturday, when we sit down with a different expert or celebrity every Saturday to talk about something in the news. Don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday for our regular episodes, where we provide all the day's news in 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. It's now time for today's Special Edition Saturday. Dr. Pamela Rutledge, thank you so much for joining us here on the Newsworthy.
My pleasure. Always fun to talk about Taylor Swift.
So how did we get here, though? How has Taylor Swift inspired so much devotion from her fans?
Let's start with the fact that Taylor Swift has been working her butt off for those full 17 years that she talks about on the Eras Tour. You know, you could go back on YouTube and see her just starting out, and she really has worked hard. But what she's excellent at is staying connected to her fans. She really knows how to use social media. She really knows how to share what feels like a very authentic self. And she responds to people in meaningful ways. And her music is, in fact, also about her emotions, and she's really owning it. So she's taking you on a journey that you probably have already been on. There have been other people who are really good at social media and have, shared their authentic selves. Is there still something that goes beyond that? Is it the community that's building, that's gone beyond Taylor Swift herself? Well, there is a huge community that's been building a long time. And I think it's a combination of the passion that her fans feel, plus the kind of music that she writes and sings, because she's really documenting her personal journey. And it's very reflective of her age, who she is, what she's going through, which is exactly the major demographic of her fan base. So they really feel like their emotions and their wishes and their hopes and dreams, their frustrations are reflected in what Taylor's going through, which is why these songs can become anthems for people. They can encapsulate important moments in their lives. So when you combine that with feeling that connection, that sense of intimacy from Taylor, feeling like, she's showing you her cats, or she's showing you what kind of tea she likes, or her kitchen, you really start to make a parasocial connection in a lot of different ways. And by parasocial, I mean it's one-sided. Taylor doesn't know that you're watching her Instagram. She doesn't really know you, but you still feel a huge emotional connection because of all of these different aspects of her and the things that are attractive to you. Overall, how has social media impacted how celebrities and fans interact? It's a little less one-sided now than it even used to be, right? Oh, for sure. It's made a huge difference because for the first time, fans feel like they are actually connecting with the celebrity. They're not talking to a PR agent. They're not reading a bio in, teen magazine. They don't have that sense of mediation, even though it is in fact mediated. And now even people who don't listen to her music or maybe haven't paid attention to her on social media before are talking about this rumored relationship with Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. What is it about this situation that is getting so many people invested and interested? Well, I think the Swifties have been invested in her romances all along, but this is a real leap across industries. The interesting thing about Taylor's fans and football fans is they are equally passionate. Football fans paint their faces and they put on jerseys and they do all the things that there's a parallel for in the Swifties. So you're really uniting two sort of passionate groups. And I saw a very cute tweet that saying, "For the first time ever, my wife watched a football game with me. Thank you, Taylor Swift." So it's bridging some worlds that's making people curious about the other one. That's always a good thing. What does the research say about why we're so attracted to things that are getting so much attention? Again, even if we weren't paying attention to this initially, once everyone else starts talking about it, we suddenly may be paying more attention to it. Well, the human brain was really wired for a long, long time ago when we were wandering the savannah and trying to keep from being eaten by the saber-toothed tiger. So when something gets a lot of attention, it's our instinct to look and see what's going on. We want to know because new things might be dangerous. It might be something that, can, destroy us, can eat us. So we have that instinctive need to know. We're very curious. And so when there's this huge deal over something, you want to find out a little bit about it. The other thing is, if you're totally out of the loop, that's a real cost in terms of social capital. It's who you're talking to at work or the colleagues that you're sharing things with. That's going to be a topic of conversation. So you like to know at least a little bit about what's going on so you aren't not part of the conversation. So you're at least included. So I think it has a big social component and it has a big biological component.
Anything else you want to add or just a final thought for us?
I think pop culture is really fun. I think it's really fun to immerse yourself, to understand, to follow the music, and to use it to make your life better, to make you happy.
Still ahead, despite all the love for Taylor Swift, there are still some skeptics who think the budding romance is just a publicity stunt. Our next guest, Dr. Leslie Rasmussen, is an associate professor of communication at Xavier University. She researches and teaches courses on public relations and social media strategy. So she's giving her take on the theory that it's all a PR plan, plus what she says to people who are annoyed by all the coverage. Though note, she might be a bit biased on this one. While she does study this stuff, she's also a self-proclaimed diehard Swiftie. But first, a quick break for our sponsors. So the reason I've moved away from a daily multivitamin is because I'm now drinking AG1 every day. And AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that can replace your multivitamin and probiotic and really support whole body health. AG1 makes me feel like I'm ready to take on the day, that I've done something good for my body first thing in the morning. I drink it before I eat anything. And I've noticed a nice boost in energy too. I also appreciate that it's easy to put my AG1 into a to-go cup and take it with me, whether that's around the house, on a walk, or in the car. And that it's just one simple drinkable habit. 1 scoop of AG1 mixed with water, that's it. Anything that helps me save time and makes me feel good? Yes, please. If you're looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, try AG1 and get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/newsworthy. That's drinkag1.com/newsworthy. Check it out. This episode is also brought to you by Uncommon Goods. If you want to be that person who gives all your people a thoughtful and unique gift this holiday season, but without added stress, I have your secret weapon, Uncommon Goods. And even before Uncommon Goods became a sponsor, they were my go-to place to browse and buy when I did not already have a gift idea for someone. Uncommon Goods scours the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. Whether your person is a coffee, wine, or book lover, a gardener or chef, a hiker, traveler, entertainer, or homebody, there is truly something for everyone and at gift-friendly price points too. It's such an easy way to support artists and small independent businesses as well, which I love. My most recent purchase on Uncommon Goods is this beautiful, but also kind of fun and silly stoneware popcorn bowl with a kernel sifter to ensure that the next movie night is both stylish and toothache-free. How great of a gift is that for anyone who loves curling up on the couch with popcorn and a show? To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/newsworthy. That's uncommongoods.com/newsworthy to get 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Okay, now to our conversation. Leslie, thank you so much for joining us here on The Newsworthy.
Thank you for having me.
So I understand you are a Swiftie yourself, and you also study the reasons people become super fans like that. So from both a personal and a professional perspective, what is it about Taylor Swift that really draws so many people in? What's different about her?
She appears very down to earth and almost normal, which is an odd thing to say about somebody who is, breaking records left and right and is, people call her the queen or princess of pop. But she just seems like she has this really great personality and tries to kind of stay above the fray and do good for those around her and for the greater good. She uses social media to connect with her audiences in a way that emulates a friendship, if you will.
Yeah, and what role do you think social media has played in all of this?
I think the biggest role, academically, when we study the relationships between influencers and their target audiences, we used to, this stuff started back in the 50s, and people would look at relationships between, the audiences and influencers who were on television. So actors in soap operas, newscasters, sports athletes, that sort of thing, because those are the people that are regularly in your home on your television. And with social media over the last couple of decades, it makes it seem like they are more accessible and realistic in a lot of ways. And I think that's a really powerful aspect of social media.
From a fan's perspective, why do you think everyone is so much more into this relationship with Travis Kelce than her previous ones?
I love it. I am here for it. I study this stuff, and yet I find myself so impacted by it. I'm very much a Swiftie, and I love this for her. But really what we're talking about is what we refer to as parasocial relationships. So people think that they know Taylor Swift, and in her past relationships, what we've seen is an immense level of privacy. And this time, it's just all out in the open. Maybe not all out in the open, but, right before I hopped on, I saw an image of her kissing Travis Kelce on the cheek. And I don't think we've ever seen an image of her posing for a photo while kissing a romantic partner. So, going out on dates and not running away from the paparazzi, just sort of kind of embracing it. And people feel so excited and happy that she gets to shine and be with this man who appears to know he is with Taylor Swift, and he's proud of it and doesn't need to kind of hide that away. And because people have this parasocial relationship with Taylor Swift, and she seems normal, like they want to see her happy, and it seems like she is happy, at least from what we are seeing.
I want to hone in on what you said about it being more public than normal. What's your opinion about the conspiracy theories that this is all a PR stunt?
Well, I'm a public relations professor, so I'm gonna lean into that a bit. I don't think why it would be my question. I've been asked this a few times, and my response is constantly, well, why would Taylor Swift need a PR relationship? She is about to have the highest grossing tour of all time. She just broke, the movie box office records. Her re-records are breaking records, which is unheard of. There's certainly some PR benefit to the public nature of the relationship. Travis Kelce is very popular in his own right, but it just isn't necessary. I've heard people say, well, it's great publicity for her tour. You can't even get tickets to her tour. I went to the tour. It was gangbusters to get a ticket. So I don't think she needs to do this with anyone unless she really wants to.
What do you say to people who are critical of it, or at least say, enough with all the Taylor Swift coverage?
I say let people have their joy, And there's a quote by Taylor Swift where she says, some of the worst kind of people are those that make people feel bad for being excited about things. And it's simple, but it's so true, yeah, is it a lot? Sure. Are they leaning into it and making fun of it by going on SNL and, letting the photos happen and all of that? Sure. But so what? Like, does it hurt you to let other people be excited about something? No. We live in a world right now that is extremely chaotic, from the local level to the national level to the global level. And this is a little bit of a reprieve, and it's lighthearted and it's fun. I say let people be excited about it.
So our other guest expert had mentioned that actually NFL fans do a lot of similar things as Taylor Swift fans, like dress up and go to events. What do you make of that comparison?
Oh, absolutely. These certain men in my life that I know that will roll around in the, another man's work uniform, their jersey, and complain about this. And it's like, oh, come on, you're doing it too. It's just in a different context.
Final thought about this topic as we wrap up today.
Whether you like her or don't like her, she is certainly a powerhouse, and you can't argue with that. Go Taylor and go Travis.
Well, thank you so much to both of our guests today. We put links to learn more about each one of them in today's episode notes. Do you know a Swiftie? Be sure to share this episode with them. And don't forget to join us again for our regular episodes, Daily News Roundups. We catch you up on all the news you need from politics to entertainment in just about 10 minutes each weekday. So we'll be back on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend. And a special thank you to our military service members and veterans on this Veterans Day.